What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is up? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike.
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really let, hello, casting wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was gonna, I thought Lil Murder was gonna turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped head everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. If you up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue Joshua or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Hey people, what is up? What is up? What is up? Hey people. Oh, let me get my hat in order. All right, that's a little better. Get my hat in order. What's up, people? What up? What up? What up? What up? Hey, 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 hey. What's up, people? We are here. We are back. And we are here better than ever, back better than ever, doing what it is that we do over here. Hey, Yana, boo. What's going on, boo? Oh, boy. Hey, Tanya. Hey, my love. Hey. What's going on, y'all? It is time to talk some politics. It is time to be edified in the world of politics. Do what we do. Learn some stuff. And get on out of here. Now, I'm not going to be here long. I feel like I'm so tired. Listen, y'all. My body is exhausted and tired. But I'm going to give y'all a good hour and 15 minutes, somewhere around there. I'll give y'all about. I'm going to say we'll be here till 6. Now, after that, I can't promise you nothing. But until 6 o'clock, I got you. And so let's do what we do. Anyway, so y'all listen. I have not been, I haven't done the politics of it all in a while. So I do the dossier today. It's a little packed. But trust me, we'll make it through. We will make it through. Let me pull up the dossier. How are y'all? Listen, Tanya, I know you are in Georgia. Have you started? Did you go early vote yet? Yana, what state are you in? If you don't mind sharing with us, what state are you in? Because I'm trying to see who has and who has not already started early voting. We know that we are less than 3 weeks away from Tuesday. Would have made 3 weeks away from elections. So we are less than 3 weeks away from elections. And ooh, it's time for me to shave all this gray. God. Oh, you voted on Tuesday? Okay. Um, yeah, I gotta shave all this gray away. Look at all that white. Look at all that white. I'm looking all old like an old man. To shave all that off. Tanya, I haven't shaved off before I come see you this weekend. Um, so let's see here. So listen, let's see where we're gonna start. Since I was asking y'all about elections, let's get some election stuff out of the way now. Let's do some election stuff now. But so you know what? If I do, yeah, I might as well to listen. Everything is, I would say 90% of what we're doing is going to involve elections. And that means that we're going to have, it's that time. Already at the beginning of the show, it is time for a sugar spike segment. Let's deal with the sugar spikes.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings. Get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings. Take us out, Moose.
Taste the biscuit.
Holy Ghost will tell you, don't wait at the church. You can win it.
Call my mama say, Jesus.
I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Call him. So listen, we're going to start in the great state of Arizona. Where is Jason when we need him? Because this is his state. This is Jason's state, the great state of Arizona. So this came across my desk. I believe it was late last week or early this week. I think it was earlier this week. It might have been late last week, but I didn't get a chance to get to it. I was out of town this past week, wasn't I? Yeah, I was in South Carolina. So I'm going to just read the headline and we'll tackle it from there. Here's the headline. Arizona GOP candidate allegedly caught masturbating in front of a preschool. What do y'all want me to do with that? Like what in everything that is holy do you all want me to do with that? I don't know what y'all want me to do with that. Let me read that again because maybe the people in the back did not hear it. Maybe the people in the back didn't quite hear what I said. Maybe I didn't intimate it as well as I thought I did. So let me restate that for the power of reiteration so that you all can hear this. Arizona GOP candidate allegedly caught masturbating in front of a preschool. I'm really waiting to see what y'all want me to do with that. What do y'all want me to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? The Maricopa County candidate who vowed to protect children from baby killing leftists was allegedly caught with his pants down near a local preschool. A GOP candidate for an Arizona college district's governing board was allegedly caught with his pants down in the worst place imaginable earlier this month. Police arrested the candidate, Randy Kaufman, on public sexual indecency charges after an officer allegedly caught him masturbating in his car near a preschool. Quote, I fucked up, end quote, said Kaufman once he was caught, according to the police report. Also, according to the report, he told the police that he was watching interracial porn, because that makes all the sense in the world. He also claimed that he had not noticed that he was near a child center until he was caught by police. For obvious reasons, Kaufman is suspending his campaign. It's a little hard to run as a guy who got caught masturbating in front of a preschool. But it is too late for his name to be replaced on the ballot, according to the Huffington Post. However, the story took another twist after news outlets began digging through his now deleted Facebook posts. The same man allegedly caught masturbating in front of a preschool had also gone on a tirade about wanting, quote, our children protected from the progressive left, end quote. That's according to the Washington Post. What's up, Vovo? In a campaign town hall, Kaufman rallied against letting politics get into schools, saying it was dividing our country. Other news outlets, including Law and Order, a crime outlet, dug through his other pro-MAGA posts where he rallied against, quote, baby killing leftists, end quote, and went after abortion providers. In a post, here is what he wrote. Interesting that the very liberals who hate guns and heavily restrict them in their states, but travel across state lines to buy them, now bemoan the fact that liberals who like abortions will have to travel across state lines to have abortions. This guy is a part of the worst of us. I mean, according to the police report, he was less than 200 feet from the preschool. 200 feet is like across the room. Like, really? 200 feet? Not 200 yards. A yard being 3 feet. We're talking 200 feet. Baby, 200 feet is from one side of the room to the next, depending on the size of the room. And he was less than 200 feet from the preschool, stroking it out to some interracial porn. I should probably goes without saying he's white. It probably goes without saying that he's anti anything black. But it makes perfect sense psychologically that he's admitted to looking for all of the interracial porn that he could find. That he rants and raves about protecting children and babies from the baby killing leftists while ceremoniously exposing your junk to preschoolers, literal babies. You're less than 200 feet away from this middle school. What happens if they're out? You know, they let the kids out to go play on the playground and stuff during recess. What happens if they're out? Like, this whole thing is a goddamn mess, but it's par for the course. And the sad part is he still has a chance to win because it's too late to take him off of the ballot. And that side of the aisle, the right side, the far right, have proven to us there's nothing any of their candidates could do or say that will stop them from ceremoniously backing them. There's nothing they can do or say at this point that would literally make someone, make the Republican side say, you know what, we're not going to back them anymore. We're going to tell you not to back them. There's nothing. We watched the video last well, I think it was a week or two ago, where your girl told us they don't care about any. All they care about is taking back the Senate. That's all they care about. They could give a shit about uh, all of their morals, their moral compass, all of their evangelical principles. Mm-mm. All they care about is getting back control so that they could take all of our rights away. Mm-hmm. That's what y'all got going on. And that was the first story. God help us. God bless America. Going from one horrible politician to the next. Let's stay in the great state of Arizona, dear God, fighting to be a part of the holy trinity of racism, bigotry, and discrimination in these yet to be United States of America. Oh yeah, Arizona is telling North Carolina, hey, we want parts of this trinity. We're trying to take that third, because Florida and Texas will not be moved out of their spot. They have cemented their spots in the holy trinity. However, that third spot, Arizona feels like it's up for grabs and they want it. So, over in the great state of Arizona, they're having the gubernatorial race, and the Republican nominee is a woman by the name of Carrie Lake. Let me give y'all this story. At a campaign rally stop on Wednesday, that's yesterday, where former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard joined her, Republican gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake claimed if the civil rights activist Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, he would be an America First Republican. Do y'all want to hear it? Y'all want to? I have the audio. Hold on. Here's the audio. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this set up for y'all. Let me get this audio set up for y'all. Hold on. All right. Because this is the foolishness that we're dealing with. Here's the audio.
I'm a true believer that if MLK, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., were alive today, if JFK were alive today, if our founding fathers were alive today, they would be America First Republicans. I really believe that.
We're two stories in, and I'm speechless both times. Like literally, what in everything that is holy do y'all want me to do with this type of stuff? This white lady up here, y'all can have JFK. Y'all can have JFK and everything that he stands for. I really don't care. But what you're not going to do, like all of you people always do, is try and snatch Dr. King up and use him as your little political pawn. He will be a what? This is the same lady who is on record saying that if she doesn't win, she is not going to concede and she will not accept the fact that she lost, no matter what the votes are. Mind you, this is also in a state where they have removed the vote from the hands of the public and put the votes in the hands of the legislature. What do you mean by that, El Teddy? We still get the vote to vote. You absolutely do. However, they have changed the laws in that state, and now the state legislature has the right or reserves the right to proclaim whomever they would like as the victor in any election. Go check the laws. They passed it already. And so when you have a gubernatorial candidate that is Republican, that is here for all of it, that is that believes the big lie, that's lying right here saying, "Oh yeah, Martin Luther King would have been our America First Republican," and is on record saying no matter what the votes are, she will not accept a loss. You know what that means? That means that there's a real possibility that essentially what they're saying is we don't give a shit how you people vote. We're going to put the people in there that we want. Get over it. This is what we're dealing. Jason, you came in at the right time. We're on our second story of the day, the second one involving your great state of Arizona. We had to deal with the first story where you have people running for office, jacking off and masturbating less than 200 feet away. Now, 200 yards, not 200 miles, but 200 feet away from a preschool. But you're running for the school board. You also have a gubernatorial candidate over there who's saying that she knows full well that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if he were alive today, would be an America First Republican. This is the type of fuck shit and buffoonery that we're dealing with in the great state of Arizona. This is what we're dealing with. But Carrie Lake isn't worried. They have already passed legislation in the state of Arizona saying that the state legislature reserves the right to certify their elections however they deem necessary. They've already passed the law. It's already on the books. Essentially, what that is saying is, damn how you vote, we're going to go ahead and put our people in anyway. Just a mess. Just a goddamn mess. Just a damn mess. Bernice King was not gonna sit back and let y'all and let y'all speak on her daddy like that. So here's what Bernice King tweeted out. Quote, "Dear Carrie Lake, what you share here is false and dismissive of Daddy's seminal work and beliefs, including ending and preventing voter suppression, treating all, including immigrants, with dignity. I invite you to study my father via the MLKCenterInstitute.org, hashtag MLK." Now, that was a nice and cute retort. But let me help you understand something, Bernice. Bernice, leave it to us who are experts in Twitter. You were supposed to eviscerate her. Baby, you were supposed to drag her with reckless abandon. She was supposed to get skull dragged by you. It's still supposed to be people trying to pry your hands off of her skull from dragging her. She's a mess. And there's a very real possibility that she'll be the next governor of the great state of Arizona, third state in alphabetical order. In more news that will make we'll venture away from the great state of Arizona, who I told you all is vying to snatch up that third cog in the holy trinity of racism, bigotry, and discrimination. I'm telling you, Florida and Texas are cemented, but they feel like they can take that third cog or that third piece from North Carolina and snatch it away and and become the third piece in the Holy Trinity. So we've had Stacey Abrams last Friday that had a debate. Tuesday, Stacey Abrams debated Brian Kemp for the Georgia gubernatorial um, election, and then this past Tuesday, we had Val Demings, who had a debate with uh, Marco Rubio for the Florida senatorial election. So, as you can imagine, and I believe recently, I believe it was last week, Cherry Beasley also had a debate in the North Carolina senatorial election. I believe that was last week. So, when you have Black women who are educated, who are intelligent, who know what they're doing. All right, Tabitha, I see you. Hey, Lamone, what's good? So when you have Black women who are educated, who are leaders, who have a grasp of what the assignment is, and who can go in there and be authoritative and be assertive and be on offense as opposed to defense, what happens? You start to get that old trope of the angry Black woman. And that's what we're seeing all over the place now. You talk to the you look at the campaign ads of the opponents, you look at the pundits on the right side as they're talking about the performances at the debates. You start to see the same trope and adage. Oh, that's just an angry Black woman. Oh my God. I'm telling you. And so that trope is rearing its ugly head. It's racist. It's sexist. It's demeaning. It's discriminatory. It's all of the above. It's all of the above. Now, if I am rating and you know what? Y'all gonna be mad at me. I know. Go ahead, cuss me out now. Be mad at me now. I'm okay. I watched all three debates in their entirety. I thought Stacey Abrams did the best. I thought Cherry Beasley was next, but I thought Val Demings was the worst. I didn't say she did bad. I'm just saying of the three ladies, I thought Val Demings was the worst. She had a couple one-liners in there, but to me, I felt like Val's. The reason I put Val's as the third because she was she talked about the political points, but I think she focused too much on what Marco wasn't doing or had not done. I think you have to do that, but at a certain point, you have to pivot and talk about, okay, how I am going to, what I am going to do, what my ideas are, how I'm going to get the work done. And I don't think she spent enough time on that. There were moments in her delivery where there were these pregnant pauses, that some pregnant pauses are good because you allow it to sit there, or you allow what's being said to sit there. But in this case, some of her pregnant pauses seemed like she was unsure of where she wanted to go. And that goes into your campaign team and the people that you have that are rehearsing, because before you go into a debate, you practice, you have mock debate after mock debate after mock debate. And so that goes into the fault of her campaign manager and all of those people who were supposed to be ready. Because if you look at the Florida vote in that election, the sides are dug in. The Dems are going to vote for her. The Republicans are going to vote for him. But there's a large chunk of independent voters in Florida. And so for those independent voters in Florida, what you have to do is, yeah, you could talk about some of the things that Marco didn't do, but they want to hear about, okay, yeah, he didn't do that, but what are you going to do? Because if you keep focusing on, and I tell people in debates and things like that, if you keep focusing on the other person, then our focus is going to be on the other person, because your focus is on the other person, and what you want to focus on is on you. So you can exposition wise talk briefly about what the other person didn't do, should have did, or did wrong, but you got to immediately pivot into, okay, but here's what I'm going to do. Here's how I'm going to make it better. Here's the difference that I'm going to make. And so Stacy is good with that. Like, Stacy is right on the money. She's going to give you all of the, yep, Brian Kemp, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And let me tell you what I did. And let me tell you what I plan to do. And let me tell you how we're going to do this. And so to me, that and her delivery was better. Cherry Beasley did a very good job as well in her delivery, but also talking about what it is her intentions were for the citizens of North Carolina. And I think that Val didn't give me a lot enough substance about her and what she was going to do. So that's why. But I'm not saying she had a bad debate. I'm not saying that. But my problem now is, that's if I'm rating the debates, okay? But my problem now is and that's, unfortunately, that also goes to it's like I teach students when I teach writing, okay? When I teach writing. When I teach someone to write, I tell them, yes, you have to acknowledge the audience. And in acknowledging your audience, and it's the same kind of for a debate, in acknowledging your audience, you have to understand, one, that your audience has a position. They come to it with a position. Now, you have to acknowledge that position, and either you're going along with their position, or you have to use rhetorical acrobatics to change their position. The other thing that you have to acknowledge is they have a position on you. They already have a position on the subject, but they already have a position about you, meaning they already feel a certain way about you, and they don't have to know you. As soon as you walk into a room, they look at you and they automatically have a stereotype, or they already feel some kind of way about who you are. They have sized you up immediately. So if you know that is a trope that the other side is going to grab hold of, and that the other side is going to try to utilize, it's okay. You got a couple ways to combat that. You could embrace it totally and just disembowel any of this. You could go straight for the attack. I've seen that work for people. I'm the angry black woman. I can't change that for you. Great. Let me go ahead and give you what you're looking for. Good. Or you could say, take the whole other, and I'm the first one to say, ain't none of this fair. It shouldn't be that way. But we got to deal in reality. We have to deal in what it is that we're dealing with. We got to justify, have the ends justify the means. And if that means that I got to swallow a little bit of pride, or I got to do what I got to do to get in there to make substantive change and get people to see it's not what you think it is, then let me do what I have to do that. So some people may take the approach of, okay, I know you thinking I'm going to come in here and be angry, black woman, and so forth. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be cool, calm, elective, and measured. You know who does that? Look at how Reverend Warnock goes into any debate or goes into anytime you see him speak. What's up, Cams? He knows being a dark-skinned black man in these yet to be United States of America, even if he's in a room full of black people, there's a certain stereotype that they have about him. There's the, okay, here's the militant, angry black man. So what does he do? Whenever you see him speak, what is he? He's always very cool, measured, there's almost like a meekness to him when he's speaking, a mildness to him. Because his whole way of attacking that stereotype or trope is, we ain't I'm gonna go completely opposite and let you see that ain't what I'm about. So there's even more ways to attack it than that. But I just wanted to put that out there because I think even going into it, your campaign manager, your team that's helping you with these debates knew full well that that's how people were going to come into this when you started having debates, when you start to speak. And so they're supposed to go over everything with regard to, how is your hair? What style of hair do you have? Do you want some highlights? How is your makeup? Do you want brighter makeup? Because this, statistics say if you have brighter makeup, it makes you seem more optimistic. Do you want muted colors? Or we know if you're on the left, you're going to have some shade of blue. There's a million shades of blue. How do you want your blue? You want navy blue? Do you want royal blue? Do you want light blue? What do you? And so there's so many factors. Your body language. What do you say? Are you smiling? Different things like that. And all of those things play into how you are perceived in a debate. Hell, it plays into how you perceive even on something like YouTube right here. Hey Tracy, what were y'all opinions on? We just gonna pick those three black women because, like I said, those tropes have already. Let me give you some of the headlines that people have said about these women. I had pulled up some stuff. Now I can't find it. Screw you, El Teddy. Oh man, I had to pull some stuff. Y'all know I'm better than this. But what I did was I had pulled some readings and headlines and some of the jargon that people were using when they were talking about these women. And so there's always the Stacey Abrams attacks Governor Kemp, things like that. And it's just the way that they talk about these women and make them sound like they're just angry, or Governor Kemp described Stacey Abrams afterwards as being upset and mad during the debate. And you got headlines that saying that Val Demings came off a tad angry when she was in the debate against Marco Rubio. And my whole thing is, when you're talking about some of the issues that they're talking about, for example, Val Demings, who was police chief at the time that the Post nightclub shooting happened, that's in her district. She was the chief of police. You see what I'm saying? And so why wouldn't she be passionate about that when Marco Rubio hasn't done anything? We've seen that soundbite. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim, but there is this undertone, and I'm not going to even say undertone, overtone of the whole sexist and racist trope of the angry black women with regard to um those three black women in particular, Cherry Beasley, Stacey Abrams, and Val Demings. Now, I haven't heard people say anything about, I think, what's the lady there? Crystal Matthews. Crystal, I think that's her name. Crystal Matthews, who's running for Senate. She's a Democratic senatorial candidate in the great state of South Carolina, running against Senator Tim Scott over there in South Carolina. I haven't even heard that they've even had a debate yet. Um, I'm not saying that it did. I just haven't heard it. The Dems have poured no money into her debate. I mean, into her campaign at all. And there are a lot of campaigns around the country that are now very close. You see a lot of the press about the Vance Ryan senatorial race up there in Ohio. Um, and the fact that the Dems are Johnny come latelys with that, and they're just it, and which leads me to my next story. And I wanted to disagree with this story, however, I couldn't. I found that I could not disagree. Now, here is the headline. Headline says Democrats grumble it's too little, too late with Obama. And they're saying that because Obama is supposed to in the next I think next week or this weekend, sometime he's supposed to go to Georgia and rally in Georgia. But the Dems are coming out saying, hey bruh, like we less than 3 weeks away. Where the hell you been? And unpopular decision again. I think Obama got this wrong because when you decide that you're going to run for president and you become a two-term president and you're as popular as former President Barack Hussein Obama was and is in the Democratic Party, you know full well that for at least the next 20 years or so, you're going to have to go and campaign for people on that side. For example, remember Clinton? When Clinton ran, after Clinton came out of office, Bill Clinton was everywhere, even post impeachment. He would still go to different states and stomp for different candidates because they know he was well loved and well received. Barack Obama is the same way. You are very well received, not just amongst the left, but amongst independent voters. And when you come way late in the game, now you just decided that you just gonna come and say, "Oh, okay, well, let me go ahead. I guess it's time for me to come out of hiding now, and I'll go." So, I, you, most people would love to be able to say that ain't my problem, that ain't my fight. I ain't got to do that. I already did my time. But sir, you knew when you ran for president and you came out of office, you're not done. That's not just. It's not like, well, next president got elected, I'm done. Y'all won't see me no more. I'm gonna go hide, going into a cave and hide forever. That's not how that works. That's not how this works. Specifically because and you should have a vested interest in making sure that candidates that lean toward your side, you go and stomp for them, because as a president you put a lot of things in place and you don't want the next person to come and just wipe everything away with one fell swoop, which is what 45 did. I just think that um it is a little too little too late. Let me read a little bit of this article for y'all. It says when aides to Barack Obama announced the former president's schedule for the midterm elections late last week, some Democrats were already grumbling. For weeks, Democrats have been wondering where Obama was ahead of a midterm fight where the party is clinging to the slimmest of majorities in the House and Senate. President Biden is widely seen as a drag on the party's fortunes this cycle as he battles dismal approval ratings, with some candidates not wanting Biden to attend rallies in their state. With some candidates not wanting Biden to attend rallies in their states and districts, the absence of Obama's star power has been notable. Obama did attend 4 fundraisers in August and September to raise money for candidates, but some Democrats say that's not enough given his standing and ability to draw a crowd. Quote, I think a lot of people have said, where's Obama? He shouldn't just be the closer. He's still seen as the party's rock star, end quote. And that's according to a Democratic strategist. And it does seem like a last ditch effort because Democrats are now starting to think that they peaked too early. Had election been in August, it would have been great. In August, the Democrats were riding the wave, but now Republicans have started to come, and make it even. The economy is the talk of the town more so in some states than than the Roe decision, and so I can't help but agree. He should have been out there. He should have been out there. Just like y'all are asking y'all ask us black people, y'all ask not just black people, all of the people on the left. Y'all say we need y'all to come out and vote. Come and vote. We need y'all to do y'all part. We need that. Okay, well, we need the people like Obama them to do their part too. Now, if we got to do our part, y'all got to do y'all part too. And I do think they didn't do their part. It's 3 weeks before it. Now you just decided to do, bro. You should have been out there. I ain't saying you should have been out there since the beginning of the year, but you could have started sometime late summer, not now in August. What y'all think? I really want to know how y'all feel on this because I know some of my opinions on some of this stuff is not popular, especially with the debates with the ladies and this Obama stuff. But I just tend to agree, bruh, where you been? Where have you been? I just wanted to get y'all opinion on that. Speaking of appearances and campaigning, Oprah is coming to deliver her star power with Stacey Abrams. So she's going to hit the campaign trail in the great state of Georgia to help Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams. Let me read this. Stacey Abrams' campaign hopes to gain momentum down the backstretch of her rematch with Republican incumbent Brian Kemp. The two debated head-to-head last Friday for the only time in the contest. Oh, wow. That's interesting, Tabitha. Lord. Winfrey will make an interview-style virtual campaign appearance with Abrams tomorrow evening, dubbed Oprah Winfrey and Stacey Abrams Present, A Thriving Life. The conversation won't likely break any new ground as they're expected to talk about policy issues like healthcare, education, and public safety that have been well worn throughout the campaign, but by bringing in arguably the most recognizable and influential woman in America, Abrams hopes to energize voters to get to the polls and cast ballots in her favor. Um, that's interesting. Now, I listen. Get it how you live, Stacey. You know, a week or two ago, we were screaming that Stacey wasn't doing enough to get in front of the people. So yeah, if Oprah want to come now, I don't. She's not literally coming to the state of Georgia, but they're going to do this whole interview style thing. I guess it's going to be on TV. Great. The people love Oprah. White, black, blue, and purple. They loves them some Oprah. Go ahead. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. So so but I see what you're. I didn't think about that because I do follow Michelle Obama, and you're right, Tabitha. Michelle Obama normally would be all over her social medias, telling people to vote, giving people reasons to vote, this, that, and the third. And she's been real quiet. She has been very quiet lately. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Now that you say that, that's very interesting. And I wonder why that is. Honestly, I think Michelle is done with all things politics, and she told Barack to tread lightly unless he wants a divorce. You think so? I don't think it's that bad. I don't think they're at that point. I don't know that. I just don't see them being at that point. Um, Tracy, the last time she posted about voting was 4 weeks ago. Interesting. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Um, in other news, I told y'all got me till 6. That's it. 6 o'clock. And I only got like 3 more stories, so I'm doing good. I'm tired. I'm exhausted today. I'm just so exhausted. Something's up, and I want to know if they are doing my president and first lady. I wonder. I really wonder. The Democratic establishment always gets shit wrong. No, 6 Eastern, not 6 Central, Derek. God. Derek go pop out the bushes. 6, you know I ain't mean no 6 Central. Derek. Love you, Derek. Just go pop out the bushes. You know what I meant. All right. So we got a situation that involves social media. I'm not doing this with you either, Tracy. I'm not doing this with you either. They do, Tabitha. I swear, it's like they be trying to lose. It's like they be trying to lose. Like they be doing everything in their power to lose. I don't understand it. Like it's just self-sabotage. God. Anyway, so the DC Attorney General is giving out a warning. The DC Attorney General is saying, listen, do not use Facebook Messenger or other encrypted or other unencrypted services for abortion planning. Hear this now. Hear this story. Washington, D.C. Attorney General Carl Rancine urged city residents to not use Facebook Messenger and other unencrypted services for abortion planning purposes. In a news release on Thursday, today, Rancine said the city residents should use secure encrypted messaging apps to discuss private conversations, pointing to a story earlier this year about a Nebraska woman facing multiple felony charges for allegedly helping her teenage daughter illegally abort her pregnancy. Facebook messages are a key piece of evidence in that case, according to an NPR report. Authorities allege the woman, 41, helped coach, and we talked about that case here. We spoke on that case on this platform during the politics of it all. Authorities allege the woman, 41, help coach her 17-year-old daughter to take abortion pills, even though she was 23 weeks into her pregnancy. Quote, stories like these confirm the importance of data privacy. While abortion remains fully legal in the District of Columbia, consumers and those seeking abortions should be aware of how others may use their data, and they should take steps to protect themselves and their data and privacy as much as possible. Rancine added. Um, Rancine suggested using messaging apps such as Signal and WhatsApp that offer secure end-to-end encryption, and to opt in to create end-to-end encrypted messages for the Facebook chats so messages can be seen only by the recipient. Um, and it goes on and on. Now, listen. If you don't think that everything that you say, especially if you have your computer open and Wi-Fi is on, somebody's listening. Please be clear. Your computer got a mic, somebody's listening. If your computer has a microphone and you have Wi-Fi on, expect that somebody's listening. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Have you ever done this? You and somebody in your house start talking about something. You ain't searched for it on your computer. You ain't looked for it on your phone. You ain't did nothing. You then 30 minutes later go look at your look at something on your computer, and now you getting ads for that very same thing that you was talking about, and you looking like, what the heck? Last week I was eating some soup, and I hadn't eaten soup since like last winter, but I wanted some soup. I felt like eating some soup. So I got some soup. I didn't talk about the soup because I was by myself. Didn't talk about the soup. Didn't mention the soup. Didn't search for the soup. Just went to Publix, got some soup, came and was eating it. It was the Panera Bread chicken noodle soup from Panera Bread. So good. Anyway, um, so I'm eating the soup, and I get on my computer eating the soup. 5 minutes later, soup ads start coming on all of this stuff that I was like, I wasn't on the phone with nobody. I wasn't talking to nobody. I didn't mention soup. I didn't even speak the word soup. I'm just eating my soup. And so I said to myself, self, is somebody watching me through my camera? I couldn't shake the feeling because it was way too coincidental for them to magically start showing me soup commercials. Like, really? That might be why that right there. You just listen. I'm infected with everything. If that's the case, Jason, I'm infected with everything. That right there. But certainly something like, because you got to think, talking about getting a Plan B pill. How do we stop it? We can't at this point. It's too late. The toothpaste is out of the tube, Lamone. It's no stopping it. Child. Child. I don't know how now there are ways. Let me take that back. There are ways to stop it. There are ways for you to get there's software and things that you can buy. If Cams is still in the bushes, we can get Cams to come on here one day and give us a tutorial, because that's his world. Cams does IT. He can come on here and give us a tutorial on how we can get our computers and phones and laptops so that Big Brother isn't watching, and we can, do the best we can to thwart and stop some of the ways that they spy on us or listen to what we're doing and saying. So yeah. But yeah, I think I'll get Cam's to come on. He probably still working because I know he had came out the bushes. He might be still doing some work. But I'll get with Cam's and see if he'll come and do a whole tutorial or class on that, because I do think that that's important for us to know that, because you talking to somebody about getting an abortion or taking a Plan B pill or anything like that, and in certain states you're aiding someone in getting an abortion, and now you can go to jail because you just gave them some information. And if it's like the attorney general said, if it's on an unencrypted um, messaging service, now they're going to use that as evidence against you. It's getting serious out here, people. So we'll get with Cams and see if Cams can't give us a tutorial on cybersecurity and how to encrypt our devices so that Big Brother isn't watching as much. They got all kinds of technology and devices. Like I forgot the name of it because somebody put it on my computer for me. But if you come and use my laptop, my personal laptop, everything you type, I know what you type. You cannot come type on my laptop without me knowing, because I have a program that records everything that's typed. Everything. Time stamped and all. Mm-hmm. I have your password and everything. I'm just being honest. People be real particular about protecting their homes with their guns and stuff like that, and protecting, all of this stuff, but you need to protect your, privacy as well. I'm gonna protect mine. I'm just saying, if you're using a work laptop and you ever open your personal email, baby, they got your password to your email. I'm telling you, never open your personal email on a work laptop. Never. Never open a personal account to anything on your work laptop. I'm telling you what I'm telling you. Just telling you what I know. Cause they get everything. They record everything. Um Not bring back payphones. The family of an Arizona, we back in Arizona because Arizona is fighting, Jason, y'all over there in Arizona fighting to be the third part of the trinity of racism, bigotry, and discrimination. The family of an Arizona man who police fatally shot is suing for $85 million. Ali Osman was killed by police for allegedly throwing rocks at one of their patrol cars. The family of Ali Osman, a man who was fatally shot by Phoenix police after he allegedly threw rocks at one of their patrol units, is suing for $85 million. Last month, two police vehicles were driving through the intersection of 19th Avenue and Tucky Lane. According to a news release from law enforcement, quote, their cars were struck by unknown items used causing damage, end quote. One of the officers say they saw Osman, quote, throwing rocks toward his patrol car, end quote. The release continued. He claimed Osman refused to stop, and quote, that's when the officer involved shooting occurred, striking the man. Osman, who was only 34, died later at a hospital from his injuries. Quasi Smith, who is part of the legal team for Ali Osman's family, filed a notice of claim on Friday. The claim, which comes before a lawsuit, lists Phoenix, its police department, two officers, and Chief Michael Sullivan as defendants. The claim states, quote, the claimants seek an award of damages reasonably calculated to compensate for the injuries they suffered in connection with the wrongful death of Ali Osman on September 24th, 2022. I didn't hear about this case, y'all. This is the first I'm hearing about this case. Tabitha, if you still in the bushes, have you heard about this case in Arizona? The man's first name is Ali, A-L-Y. I'm sorry, A-L-I. His last name is Osman, O-S-M-A-N. I had not heard of this case. I'm gonna have to go look this case up because listen, I don't give a shit if the man was throwing rocks at your police car. That's not a reason for you to end his life. You could take him to jail, charge him with vandalism or whatever. But what should not happen is you pulling out a gun and blowing his brains out and causing his death. I'm just saying, like how, even if the man was in the wrong for throwing rocks at the police car, same old, same old. Oh, you black? Yeah, let's go ahead and take you up out of here. A mess. A goddamn mess. Get the people to get them their $85 million because there's no reason that that man should be dead. I done seen white people literally fight with police, grab the police guns, and shoot at the police, and still the police don't even think to fire their weapons at that person. They still do everything to try to detain them. But black people, a mess. A mess. I hope they get all the money. I hope they get every dime. Every dime. I'm gonna end with the good stories. So I got two more stories. One is bad, both involving schools. One is bad, one is good. So we'll end with the good story. No, both of them are bad. Shit. Damn. Oh well. Oh well. I thought one of them was good, but it's not. All right. So the headline says more than 80% of LGBTQ students reported feeling unsafe at school last year, according to a report. Now, we've chronicled over the last 2 years the systematic assault and attack on LGBTQ youth across this country. We have chronicled that. You can go all the way back to 2020 and watch my videos where we began to chronicle how they were systematically targeting. There was just this assault on all things LGBTQ youth, and now there are repercussions for that. Let me read you part of this article. More than 80% of LGBTQ students said they felt unsafe at school last year, according to an annual report from the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network. As instances of discriminatory remarks from their peers increased and classroom access to LGBTQ related books and internet resources shrank over the previous school year. Nearly 82% of LGBTQ students ages 13 to 21 reported feeling unsafe while at school last year, according to the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network 2021 National School Climate Study published Tuesday. 68% said they felt unsafe because of their sexual orientation and gender identity or expression. The GLSEN report details a nationwide learning environment that has become increasingly hostile toward LGBTQ students. Nearly 80% said they avoided after school functions or extracurricular activities because they felt unsafe or uncomfortable. And more than 32% said they missed at least one full day of school over concerns for their safety. Another 11% said they missed 4 or more days of school because they were concerned for their safety. Across the country, state legislators have introduced measures that will restrict how public schools can address LGBTQ issues and identities, which LGBTQ advocacy and free speech groups have said will further isolate students. With 17 laws passed last year that negatively affect LGBTQ people, 2021 was declared by the Human Rights Campaign to be the worst year in modern history for state legislative attacks on the LGBTQ community. Let me read that again for you. With 17 laws passed last year that negatively affect LGBTQ people, 2021 was declared by the Human Rights Campaign to be the worst year in modern history for state legislative attacks on the LGBTQ community. It goes on. They have a lot of statistics in this article. I'll post the article in the chat for those people who want it. But we've talked about this because the article gives some great statistics and numbers there that you may want to look at and look up. But yeah, this is happening, and I don't know that there's anything that's going to be able to be done to stop it at this point. The snowball has already made its way down the hill. It's just picking up steam and picking up more girth on its way down. It's sad. It's sad, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it. What I got? 2 minutes. We can finish in two minutes. All right. Last story. Just in time. Now, according to data and reporting, college enrollment has fallen for the third straight year. New preliminary data from the National Student Clearinghouse shows that undergraduate enrollment has declined again. The data also show a change in the pandemic era spike in graduate enrollment. College and universities across the U.S. enrolled 1.1 fewer students since the fall of 2021, the data shows. Undergraduate enrollment in the United States dropped again for the third year in a row, according to the preliminary data released today. The data shows colleges and university and the 1.1% drop we just spoke about, but they have 1.1% fewer undergraduate students between the fall of 2021 and 2022, keeping up with a decade-long trend. The data could change by the end of the year, though. For the preliminary report, the National Student Clearinghouse gathered data on 10.3 million undergraduate and graduate students, more than 60% of the institutions that the organization is analyzing for the report. Last year's loss of students has led to a 3.2 drop in undergraduate enrollment since 2020, according to the data. In a reverse of last year, graduate enrollment has also dipped by 1%, potentially marking the end of a pandemic-era uptick in post-baccalaureate students. So there was an increase in grad school, but undergrad had been declining. Now there's a decline in grad school as well. So you got both grad school and undergrad enrollment declining. And if you go to about, I want to say it was 2011, around 2011 or so, is when we had some of our highest numbers statistically in terms of college enrollment. Those years 2010, 2011, 2012, that period of time, even to 2013, that period of time, colleges and universities around the country saw some of its largest numbers in history. Saw historically large numbers, and now we've been on a steady decline since then, which is interesting because when people start to see, and I'd like to see what this whole Biden relieving the student debt thing, but when people start to see that, does the end justify the means, where you have, you know, crippling debt from student debt that's crippling you? Does it justify this job that may not even pay you enough money to pay off that debt? Like, and you got people who ain't go to school nowhere in America making millions of dollars. Does the end justify the means? And it's interesting because people yeah, I saw that yeah, I saw that Russia is getting warheads and weaponry from Crimea. I saw that. Um I'll get there in just a second, Jason. But what I was saying was, you know, people just don't see it being advantageous as, well, not, I'm not going to paint it with a broad stroke, but a lot of people are seeing it as being less advantageous to go off to school. So yeah, that's interesting. I really B and I, we will do Teacher Project 2.0 next week, and we'll spend some time on the topic right there next week. And before I get out of here, just to add to the commentary, Iran was arming Russia with some um, things that they could put in their arsenal to help with the fight over there in Ukraine and Crimea and stuff like that. Because remember, Crimea was a part of Ukraine that Russia just said, "Oh, that's ours." That was a couple of years ago. So you say, "Oh yeah, this is ours. No, let me get that." We are Two things are happening simultaneously. This country is careening toward a civil war, and globally, we are moving toward World War III, because you had the leader of the military over in England yesterday basically said, "I'm calling Putin's bluff. He ain't got nothing else to he knows he's losing, and he's blowing smoke up our ass by saying, "Oh, I'm gonna," by threatening nuclear action, because he has no other moves." That's what basically the head of the British military said. He has no other moves, so that's why he's threatening nuclear action, because he knows he's losing. He has no other strategic moves in this whole situation. Basically, calling Putin's bluff, and said that all of the countries involved and the allies need to hold firm and be prepared for whatever we need to do. You got your boy over there, Kim Jong Un, over there in North Korea, lose his goddamn mind, violating uh, agreements that they had with South America, not to be firing off stuff right outside of their borders. You could, most of the time when he does it, when he fires these missiles or these nuclear warheads, he'll do it like off in the Pacific, maybe going toward Japan and stuff like that. But recently, he's been firing stuff just off the board, just off the coast, somewhere around South Korea and stuff like that. And they have an agreement for him not to do that. This shit is getting out of control. We got the situation over in Ethiopia right now, where there is there is not only the famine that's going on over there, but they still have political unrest between Ethiopia and Eritrea. That's going on. Remember, Nigeria just had a um a historical flood over there where whole, like they said, like a third of the country was completely underwater. A third of the country complete, and we ain't talk about knee deep water. We're talking about homes, one story homes completely consumed in water. All of these things are going on simultaneously. We can't even get water in our own borders. We still have multiple cities without borders. And I didn't go over this story, but the Department of Justice, the DOJ, is looking into the Mississippi water crisis to see what it is that Governor Reeves and the rest of the people in Jackson, that's a part of the state government, has been doing wrong, and why, if they receive billions of dollars in the infrastructure bill, haven't they done anything to get the water situation better there? Because they absolutely received money, even though they said they didn't want any money. What did you do with the money? I'm just saying. Hey, Quintessential, it's a lot going on, y'all. It's a lot going on all over the place. You got China; they basically passed an amendment or struck down an amendment in their constitution that basically said President Xi can be there perpetually until he dies. He don't have no more term. They don't even have no more term limits. They took out term limits now, so he could be there until he dies. And y'all see what he got going on over there with Taiwan and stuff like that. And he's real upset with the United States because remember Pelosi and all of those people kept going over there to Taiwan and all of that situation, and they were like, "We're not here for this." It's a lot going on, a lot going on. I will recommend for those, if you just need like highlights of what's going on politically, globally, and domestically. I usually start my morning not with Morning Joe, but I will watch. It usually comes on around 10 o'clock. The YouTube video around 10ish. I'll pause what I'm doing in the day, and they usually have like a 10 to 15 minute video um, on Democracy Now. If you don't follow Democracy Now, it's a channel on YouTube that you can follow called Democracy Now. Amy Goodman is the host, and every morning, Monday through Friday, she does a 10-minute hear the headlines, and she does the headlines domestically and globally of what's going on in the country and around the world for that day. I always remember because she says the same thing every day. If you watch Democracy Now, every morning, like I said, it comes on around 10ish every morning. But she always starts out, "Welcome to Democracy Now, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Here's today's top story." So I do recommend them. She has a great, if you just need a real quick daily, here's the rundown of what's going on. Anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes, no longer than 15 minutes. And you can get all of the major happenings um, um, that are going on globally and domestically out of the way. So yeah, I recommend that. Let me see if I can find. Let me find a link to their channel, and I'll post it in here. Anything else? Because I don't went over time. I'm 9 minutes over, y'all. We about to get up out of here. I told y'all I was tired. I told y'all I was tired and fatigue. I am tired and fatigue. All right. Here it is. All right. Hey, it's me, D. There you go. there's the link. So you can go watch. Like I said, every morning, like around 10 a.m., they have the day's headlines Monday through Friday. And it gives you a good, solid introduction to the day. And if you want to go follow up, um, you can go do more research, and sometimes they'll do follow up interviews and stuff about some of the headlines. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Listen, I'm tired. I'm finna go. I was supposed to watch that movie, Father Stew. I think that's what I'm gonna watch. Anybody seen that movie yet, Father Stew? I've been meaning to watch it, and I'm gonna watch it today on Netflix. Father Stew. See how that went. Anyway, as I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. Thank you all so much for everything. Y'all come and y'all support me, and I'm eternally grateful. I try to give y'all good information. Shondo to everybody in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. So I should be able to do Silly Saturday. But if not, we'll do Silly Sunday. So because I will be here Sunday. So but Saturday is kind of packed for me. But Sunday I should be here. No, Fathers do. I think it's a movie about the Catholic Church. I think that's the movie with um um Matt Damon in it. I think Matt Damon is in that movie. I think is it Matt Damon? I don't know. But yeah, Father Stew, STU. Father Stew. So I'm gonna go watch that and see how that was because I had intended on watching it. That's all I got for y'all for right now. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.